Tonight on Metro News. Frustration as bus fares increase once again. Blanket Bank struggles to keep up as winter hits. Sisters take to the racetrack at the South Island Champs. Kia ora, good evening. Welcome to your local news bulletin, brought to you by the students of the New Zealand Broadcasting School.
First up tonight, city bus fares are on the rise again. ECAN settled on a 2.5% increase, and while it might seem like small change, not everyone's on board. Andrew McFarlane reports.
The Metro bus system's a lifeline for many, but with passenger numbers dropping annually, ECAN's responding by increasing fares.
The reduction in patronage is not as great as we feared, and so we think 2.5% will get us through the next 12 months.
And ECAN were going to raise bus fares by 10%. However, the council said that was just too high. The new proposed rate increase is 2.5%, but it's still got locals worried.
People are finding it hard to supply food for their families and stuff at the moment. They can't really give their kids bus money, like $10 a bus per week.
The children under 18, they're fine, but children over 18, they're just too expensive.
So how will it hit you in the pocket? Well, both child and adults fares are set to go up by an additional 10 cents. It may not seem like much, but would add up to $52 a year extra for daily users.
Bus fares haven't changed in 4 years, and so we think that an extra 5 to 10 cents per trip will not affect patronage.
The City Council's pleased the hikes are less than originally proposed, but some councillors say buses shouldn't be managed by ECAN at all.
The only people affected by urban public transport are the people in the urban area, which is Christchurch City, a bit of Selwyn and a bit of Waimak. And between the three of us, we can totally manage that. We do not need a regional council involved in urban public transport.
Others say the focus needs to be on encouraging more passengers.
We've got the Metro the cards that they use for the schools, which they discount at 10%, I think, off the cash rate. But I think they should do it for nearly older citizens, and maybe 18 plus cars should have it.
Elderly can travel free with a gold card, but could more be done to lower fares for students?
No. So I was Chancellor of the university for some years. I've had a lot to do with students. I've been out and talked to the students. Why would the community support students rather than the elderly or the unemployed or whatever? And
while ECAN's annual plan's still to be approved this month, this fare rise looks like a done deal. Andrew McFarlane, Metro News.
Winter has come late this year, but the sudden chill has taken many by surprise. While voluntary groups are assisting those struggling to keep warm, they themselves need help. Alicia Foon reports.
Opening for business, it's another busy day at the New Brighton Blanket Bank. They're changing lives, one blanket at a time.
Exactly what we needed.
The New Brighton Blanket Bank's into its fourth winter, providing woolens and bedding to those in need. It acts on referrals from more than 20 organisations, and right now it has a waiting list.
We've been approached by people sleeping in tents, in sheds, shipping containers.
While many in need were embarrassed to talk to Metro News themselves, those working on the front lines say they see people still struggling.
Some of the people that have been living on the beach, those stories are pretty hard, and sometimes we get them coming back 2 or 3 times for another sleeping bag because it's rained and they've been washed out.
This year's sudden cold snaps prompted a flood of inquiries, and the Blanket Bank is struggling to keep up.
The market from 10 till 2.
Just for the children? Or for
yes, mum and dad are okay.
It's wanting more people prepared to volunteer and more donations to help the needy. The City Mission is often a first port of call for those families.
So while post-quake we have done a tremendous amount to improve things and to get back on our feet again, we haven't improved the lot of the people who were suffering before the quake anyway.
While he'd like to see more done at a national level, he agrees more also needs to be done on the ground.
There are people suffering and we've got to help them.
For the Blanket Bank workers, their doors always open for those wanting to help. Alicia Foon, Metro News.
Cycling to and from work is a transport option many of us take for granted. However, one group is helping put the confidence back in people keen to get on their bikes. Ruby Spink is covering this story and joins us now live. Ruby.
So 7% of people in Christchurch commute by bike, which is much higher than the national average. But Go Cycle Christchurch want to see this number increase even more. They say some people just need a little bit more practice before taking to the road.
The Commons, a great meeting point for a Sunday ride. But these riders need to build their confidence first.
We know from surveys that have been done that there are thousands of other people who would like to cycle but don't at the moment, and some of those will not be cycling simply because they have this perception of it being too dangerous and they don't have the confidence to cycle on roads.
Connie's passionate about biking. Short rides is just one venture she's involved with through the pro cycling group Go Cycle Christchurch. It's been running for a couple of months, helping adult cyclists pump up the confidence to get back out on the road.
We just go nice and slow, stay left.
People like Heather are what the idea is all about, overcoming her nerves after more than 10 years without riding.
At a very leisurely pace, we'll go through parks and back streets, and we might cross one of the bigger roads, we might do a small roundabout, and we'll stop along the way and talk about things, and people can ask questions, and we share tips and ideas of how to have a safer and more enjoyable ride.
Right, ready to go.
With over $68 million being spent on the city's 13 major cycleways, Connie's hoping groups like hers will get more people out on the road.
Well, I think there should be a bit of a group of cycling in Christchurch. You know, it's a good flat area, and you know, it's a nice town to cycle around. You know, and I think it'd be good.
The group relies on confident cyclists paying it forward.
What I really would hope is that some people actually get on the road and feel comfortable being on the road, and therefore stay on the road more often, and hopefully then take some other people out on the road.
It's not a lesson on how to ride a bike, but how to build confidence and have fun.
So the idea is to keep this moving. Go Cycle groups say that even if cycling doesn't become a part of your regular commute, at least you'll be more aware of those in the cycle lane. So either way, they produce better cyclists and better drivers.
Thanks, Ruby.
Smiles and saddles are what you'll find at Riding for the Disabled. For 20 years, volunteers have been boosting children's confidence with the help of horses. And as Isaac Gray reports, it's one heck of a ride.
Meet Rocco, having an early morning snack before setting off for the day. An army of volunteers in a stable full of horses may seem intimidating. But for the disabled community, this place is a second home.
Most of them had never actually been near a horse, so for these kids it was actually the confidence with animals, it was the confidence of working with strangers.
It's definitely a thrill to get on the saddle, but they aren't just here for an easy ride.
The horses lent them 4 wonderful big strong legs to do any activity they want and to get the rest of the body moving as well, and to them it's a huge plus.
A group of volunteers keep this place on track.
They can do so much, even from a wheelchair, and they get better at their social skills at home, and that amazed me.
Matthew Arnold used to be one of the riders.
I know you love me, Rocco.
Now he's one of the helpers.
I came as a rider when I was 8, then I heard about it through a friend of mine 9 years ago. I've been here ever since.
The time the kids spend on horseback makes a big difference.
Perhaps something's not gone right at school, perhaps something's not gone right at home. They've walked through the door and it just all starts to settle.
But even the givers take something away.
And you just see them leave in a very happy frame of mind. It's wonderful.
Isaac Gray, Metro News.
Coming up on Metro News, we catch up with a developer to talk about Heathcote's new bridge. And music, it's not just for the ear, it's got healing powers as well.
Welcome back. The developer of the popular Christchurch tannery has a new project in the pipeline.
He's planning to spend over $400,000 on a new bridge and wharf for the Heathcote River. Alistair Castles is with us now in the studio to talk more about the plan. With him, Alicia Foon. Alicia.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, Alistair, for joining us today. So, first of all, why build in Woolston, and especially over such a polluted river?
Well, Woolston is really where our city started. That's where it began. It was surveyed in the 1840s by the British Admiralty, and the river was navigable. So it meant that they could use the port in Littleton and ferry supplies to and from Christchurch up and down the Heathcote, which is what happened. That's where our city was founded, on the banks of the Heathcote.
And you're clearly very passionate about this. What started this in the first place?
Well, it was just what the river looked like and what it had become. It's been lost. It's been lost to Christchurch for years. We've used it as a drain, and we haven't respected it. And I think that's sad. And I'd like to see the river regain its use and look like a river again. And
what stage are you at the moment?
What stage? We've got a lot of enthusiasm. I've found the money to do it. We've got council and ECAN behind us, and our communities behind us. I think it's fair to say a lot of public support. I don't believe there's any issues to overcome.
And have you faced, obviously, any hurdles trying to get this? What has the public's response been like to this project?
No, it's been really good. I think it's been such a good idea that no one's said anything bad about it. I don't know what someone could say about it. We're putting back a bridge that used to be there, we're putting back a wharf that used to be there, and we're trying to emphasise a river that used to be there. I think it's a good idea, and most people do.
Sounds like a very good idea. Now, what are some of the other developments you've got in the pipeline? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Look, I've got a few ideas and we're working on a few things, but at the moment we just haven't got them sufficiently far advanced to talk about it, so I can't tell you much, I'm sorry.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about when you think this will be built, timeline and just a rough idea?
We've got a workshop there on site, and we hope to be starting work in 3 to 6 months. We've got a preliminary design. As I said, the biggest hurdle now is getting consent through council, but the council have taken that on board and they're going to give us a hand doing that.
And who else are you working with?
Really it's myself and family, but there's a lot of people that have come out of the community to give us a hand, and it's very positive.
And finally, what will this bring to Christchurch?
Well, we'll be able to see and respect our river again. It'll be wonderful.
Definitely, and I totally agree. Thank you so much for being here today. And Woolston definitely sounds like it's in good hands.
Thank you.
Back to you, Henry and Elizabeth.
Thanks, Alicia. Whether you're on the bus or at a local pub, New Zealanders spend a lot of time listening to music.
But it's not just a leisure activity. As Mitchell Alexander discovers, music has healing powers as well.
We are entertained by music, but making music has the potential to do so much more. The Garden City Orchestra's director believes in the power of it.
Everyone needs music therapy, not just the people who you think needs music therapy. Music is therapy.
Even at its most basic level, music therapy helps people overcome physical, emotional and even psychological challenges. At the Champion Centre, they are passionate about what music can do.
As the child plays, we're learning more every week, really, about what music does in relation to the brain.
It can give children with big challenges a taste of success.
It's a language of the emotions, and music is the area where a child can really shine and show their ability.
The centre helps over 150 children each year at a cost of nearly $2 million. Music is one element of the program. Keeping it going is a struggle.
We are not funded for music, and this has been a major problem.
The lack of funding may be a result of a lack of awareness around music therapy. Utta's head of creative industries wants to change that.
It's something that we would like to look at in the future.
However, it may not be as easy as it seems.
So I think for young people, maybe coming out of school, 17, 18-year-olds, music therapy isn't probably the first thing they think about.
So whether it's used for enjoyment or as a learning tool, music can help people hit the right note. Mitchell Alexander, Metro News.
Motorists using the Riccarton Road roundabout can expect delays. Traffic is being reduced to one lane in each direction as lights and bus lanes are put in. So if you go that way, it might pay to leave a little earlier.
For many, getting off the benefit and into the workforce is no easy feat. But Dress for Success is an organisation helping women make a good first impression. Ben Mining-Thompson has more.
Hi, Ben.
First impressions are everything. In a world where we're judged on appearance, employers are no exception. But when you're job seeking from scratch, it's tough to look the part.
Generally, we're looking at someone who's disadvantaged in some way or another, because what we're offering is assistance that they can't find themselves.
Dress for Success has been offering that assistance here for 13 years. Rose is one success story of the 450 women that come through here each year.
I got a job at VBAS, so I'll be working in like events and stuff like that.
The charity's funded through donations and relies heavily on the generosity of volunteer stylists.
They understand and work with the women with empathy and understanding, which is so important.
The wardrobe starts at the basics and then is added to layer by layer.
In this cupboard behind me we have, it's mainly the bras, the bra cupboard. I guess this is a starting point. I had a woman the other day and she was all fitted up and she said, "Oh my God, I've got a waist."
The women are referred by WINS and training organisations like Treehouse, a professional outfit so crucial.
The biggest thing it does is help their confidence. They walk out of there with their shoulders up, head held high, feeling like they look like the part for the job.
And once a client finds a job, they come back here for a second appointment to further add to their wardrobe. That's what Rose is here for today.
I just saw this blouse and I was like, yes, that's me, I need that.
But while the clothes are great, how she feels on the inside just as important.
You could come in wearing, track pants and a hoodie and, really be hunched over and unhappy, and you'll leave with the biggest smile on your face and all the confidence in the world.
Ginny's asked twice a week, what about the guys?
There is one in the UK called Suited and Booted. So I was thinking fitted and fitted.
That could be a future success story. Ben Mining-Thompson, Metro News.
Coming up on Metro News, we take a look at a rising star taking on the dance world, and sisters hit the track, a weekend at the South Island Champs. Welcome back. Now we meet three Canterbury sisters who get a thrill out of the revving and roaring of motocross.
And as Hunter Calder reports, they've stepped it up to a whole new level for the South Island Champs.
Fast, furious and flying high. Cheyenne, Jordis and Jessie, three speedsters who've been racing since they were 5.
Through the winter months, it's a guaranteed family day.
This year, Cheyenne and Jessie have stepped onto faster bikes, racing at a new level. They're in different classes, both outnumbered by boys.
They think they can intimidate you because they're boys. Really pushy. They also push you around too. They try and take advantage of, because you're a girl, they think that you're just going to give in. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl, it just matters how much you practice.
These four-wheelers are specially designed for rough terrain, reaching speeds of 90 kilometres an hour. On race day, every bike is checked before racing.
The main reason why we do it is purely safety.
Yeah.
Okay, so every bike's got to get checked before they start. And when we go up to the start line, that'll all get checked, and if she hasn't got a sticker, she'll get sent away, and you won't be able to race until you get your bike checked.
With the bike cleared, everyone's ready to go.
It sure sounds like a lot of fun, but there's no denying that bikes are dangerous. About 850 people were injured every year on their bike on the farm.
I mean, in 30 odd years of racing, there's been 2 fatalities, and I guess, you look at a farm quad, unfortunately there's probably 2 or 3 a year, if not 5.
The girls finished 9th in their events, happy with their performance.
At least I'm not trailing behind and people are passing me, but I'm having fun. That's all that counts.
The boys giving you a better stick?
They try and push you around, but you got to kind of close the door on them.
All up, it's been a great day for these sisters, and the girls hope it'll lead to an international career. Hunter Calder, Metro News.
Mitchell's here now with the weather. Mitchell, how's it looking for the rest of the week?
Well, Elizabeth, it's been quite a humid few days across the country. You may have even got your jandals out today, despite the showers. We hit a high of 17 degrees. Looking ahead, it'll be a nippy 6 overnight with a few showers in the morning, but Christchurch is set to hit the 20-degree mark to end the week. Definitely a sort of summery feel, but it may not be warm enough to have a cheeky afternoon swim. For the regions, it's pretty similar. However, Twizel residents are missing out on the party with a low of 3, which will only rise to 14. The cold snap set to continue over the weekend for everyone, so make the most of the t-shirt and short weather tomorrow. It's much the same in North Canterbury with warmer temperatures. Hanmer and Oxford, you're set for a nice 17 degrees. Kaikoura's definitely the pick of the bunch, but there will be a chance of rain, so don't leave without your umbrella. So it'll be a nice way to end the week in Christchurch. Saturday sport won't be cancelled, but if you are on the sideline with some oranges, you may want to wear that puffer jacket. Happy days. Back to you, Henry and Elizabeth.
Thanks, Mitchell. Growing up in Christchurch after the devastating quakes can be tough, but one girl's taken it in her stride.
With over 30,000 hits on YouTube, Molly Brown is showcasing our city to the rest of the world. Jordan Noppert caught up with the rising star.
From her dance studio to the streets, this 10-year-old girl is taking the pirouetting world by storm, and it all started here.
I wanted to just show by turning around the depression of Christchurch how that we're actually not recovering very well. Well, we are, but our city isn't perfect at all. It's still broken and people are still struggling.
Molly began dancing at 3, but this is her specialty. In dance circles, it's called a turnboard. She's even involved in promoting them. But her latest project, City of Ruins, has gone viral, and her mum's behind her all the way.
She was a little dancer with these dreams in front of this cathedral that had been destroyed, but is still going for her dreams and goals, which I think is really important.
Molly's videos show her pirouetting in front of damaged Christchurch landmarks, and she's had an outpour of support from those working hard to get our city back up and running.
Shows a lot of different sites in a short space of time with something that you wouldn't normally see.
It's a very unique way of showing the rebuild in Christchurch.
Molly has over 30,000 followers on Instagram, but even she's been overwhelmed by the response to the video in just 2 months.
I just feel very shocked about all of that. I didn't think that would happen at all. I was just showing Christchurch and how depressed that most people are about it, and now it's just gone crazy and it's just amazing.
Molly's mum, who's behind her styling and promotion, says the family isn't driven by fame, but are extremely proud.
I think for a 10-year-old to have found something that she is so passionate about so young, and she's really driven, she sets herself goals.
This young dancer is determined to be on the world stage and put her own spin on her hometown along the way. Jordan Noppert, Metro News.
And just before we go, skiing fanatics will have to hold out until Saturday to get their snow fix. Mount Hutt was planning to open tomorrow but has put it back a day because of high winds. So hold on to your hats, Mount Hutt is almost rearing to go. And that's Metro News for tonight.
For these stories and more, head to our website metronews.co.nz. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook.
Join us again tomorrow night. I'm Elizabeth White.
And I'm Henry Rounds.
Good night.